best tactics. 1 2 1 2. Yeah. Making a movie, my plug is hard, false alarm, fast to hard, cleaning ladies, empty trash, Okay, what's up guys? Best tactics in FTM 26. Come on, look at me. Look at me. If anybody is using that rookie in FTM 26, I'd be having serious issues with you. Okay, so I've been grinding, I've been playing, I've been testing players here and there.
So that was a f***ing lie.
And it's been like 2 months since the release of FTM 26, if I'm not mistaken. 2 months or maybe 3, I don't know, bro. I don't keep track of time, but I can confidently say today we are going to test out tactics. I can pretty much say it's not the best tactics in FTM 26, despite the fact I'm saying it's best tactics. Last time I made videos, I was like, these are my generous opinion, and today they are my generous opinion. By the way, look, it's PSG. Don't ask me why I am in PSG right now, bro. It's a very long story about that. I'm rating 70. You can see that I got a new agent right there, that old guy right there. I pay him like 8k. That's why I'm broke, but that's not the main issue. So let's just dive into the tactics. PSG squad is right here. I'm using 4-3-3. So you guys already know I like using 4-3-3, but as well as 4-3-3 falls, it's usually more effective in most of the teams. I'm just going to say most of the teams. I'm not going to tell you, these are main tactics for PSG or for specific team, because I don't believe there is a specific tactics for specific team, because players transfer, bro. Managers change, bro. You can't just stick to one thing, bro, unless it's a playing style. That's all. So let's just dive into tactics right here. So you can see we have attacking, defending, player roles. So diving into this, we have formation. I'm going with 4-3-3. I'll tell you, yeah, I prefer you use 4-3-3, but formations, like if you have say a lot of good defenders, you can go with 4 good defenders, but if you are lacking, bro, if you're in a small team and you have only like 2 good defenders, you can go with with a 3 formation. No, bro, don't do that. You go with 5 formation, bro. So with 3 midfielders and 3 attackers is about the quality of players you have. Like I have a good forward quality player, so I'll be confident to take 3 forward players, but if I had like lesser quality forward players, I would go like, let's say 4-4-2, or maybe something else like 5-4-1. If I only have like Dembele and the rest are 60 rating, that's just basically what I'm trying to say. But everywhere we go, whatever we do, we always just go with 4-3-3. By the way, I usually just it doesn't matter if you do 4, so you just do 4-3-3, but you will realize no matter what kind of squad I'm always using is just 4-3-3 any game I play, except for Football Manager. I'm about to play that in next month. Okay, so mentality, you can choose going cautious, balanced, or attacking, but for my generous opinion, my opinion, I'm not saying it's the best. I usually go with balance, because I feel balance is more balanced. Like I feel balanced maintains players stamina, maintains players sharpness during the game and stuff like that. But if you go attacking, you are pushing players up. By the way, we already know this. If you do balance, it doesn't have too much pressure on the players, but if you push players too high, you are exposing your defense a lot and stuff like that. So I would prefer you just do balance, but later on in the game, if you are losing, if games are not just going pretty much good with you, you can switch it to attacking, push the players forward. You might land in a goal, might. Okay, anyway, the playing style, I usually tell you guys the playing style is a preference. Somebody slammed me and told me that, look at this, if I go direct to this, go to your club down here, you can see traditional playing style of Paris Saint-Germain is passing. So if your data comes back here and decide to like say I like doing counter attack, I like doing long ball, I like doing direct, and you set your main playing style to like direct, I'm going to say this is not that bad, but adhering to the traditional playing style of the team will usually be more effective than just coming around changing everything directly. because I usually prefer, like, if you're doing trainings, do I have a training right now? Can I access that? No, I can't access that, but you will realize in trainings, I think I'll get a snap on that. You will realize you can also train different playing styles. You can also train counter attack. Despite doing passing, you can also, like, say, it's 45 minutes in the game, why don't we try doing counter attack, because they are not scoring. So you can change that, but basic primary, go with passing, unless I'll tell you that later on. Okay, so we have attacking setting up your attacking. The attacking tab came looking different from FCM 25. We liked it, and you can also access our building player. You can decide to direct the ball to attackers. You can decide to play it long, but this is usually a good option when you're doing long balls. So you can decide to build play. I usually advise guys to go with build play and direct it to attackers, because it's usually more effective in terms of goal scoring and creating chances in the game. And I render it more effective when you do that. Creating attacks, on the other hand, I also go with playing it to attackers, direct ball to attackers, still same thing. And if you like play it behind, I don't like using that much. And keeping the ball also is always effective, but the most effective one I usually just like doing is playing it into attackers. Game exploit, you probably realize I'm using both sides game exploit, but I will recommend you use balanced or perhaps centrally. I'm basically using I'm using both sides for now, because I'm trying to max out performance using the flank players, because imagine I have 88 Dembele. I want to max out his performance. I don't want to make him ultra lazy, so that's why I'm using game exploit. But I will prefer, if you have an average team, a small team, go balanced, or perhaps you can just go centrally. But for me, with this team, I'm using both sides, cause I have a lot of good flank players and good fullbacks, so I would prefer that. But most of the time, I'm always using centrally or balanced. By the way, it's not about what I'm usually using, it's about what is effective. So I will prefer just go balanced, go centrally. That's it. Okay, final third, you will realize this time round I'm going a balanced final third. I don't want to go cross early or do patient, but I will prefer, yeah, you can do patient. But if you have a top tier team, or if you have a top club, you can do patient. But if you just want to make it things cool in the final third, I will prefer go balanced in the final third, because balance is usually more effective as well in the final third. Doesn't really matter if the club is big or small. Final third is usually balanced for me. And shooting, this time around I'm going when possible, bro. I gotta put a lot of goals in that net, bro. So I'm going when possible. Most of the time I'm always doing balance shooting, or sometimes go with patient shooting, but this time around I'm doing when possible. I don't want to lay down, I don't want to lay low. I want to max out goal scoring opportunities. So if my players have opportunity to shoot, I will instruct them, you just go for the goal, because I'm using Ramos right here. I am using Ramos. I mean, Ramos is a good player, but really, I usually don't like him. Anyway, so I don't have, I have Tammy Abraham around. Where is here? Tammy Abraham. So those are most of the center forwards I usually have. So marks them out, tell them, go when possible. But I will prefer you do balanced, patient. No, bro. Okay, so when possible, balance shooting tactics, that is what I usually find it better in terms of, if you want to get a lot of goals, because they will try, bro. They will try. I don't want to speak like that, bro. Okay, so let's get into the defending tactics. So you will realize that I'm not going deep defending or press high. I'm doing balance, because basically, if you just get this is just more like just using 5 defenders right here. You can see that. So is more of that. It's just like, because Neves is usually a CDM for me. I don't push him up. If I wanted to do that and make him push up with attacking mentality, I would like, distorting my entire defense right there. So if I was going for, like, defending, I will go with balance. Most of the time I usually go with press high, but with this kind of team, I don't want my defense to be, cracked every single time with smaller teams and stuff like that. So I want to keep it like balanced, so I usually prefer balance. But if you are pretty much weaker team compared to PSG is a big team, so you can decide to go with deep defending. But that is just for weaker guys, or deep defending can also be used during matches. Like if you have a lead 2-1, you are leading 2-1 and it's 70 80s, you can go deep defending, because the opponent might just equalize from nowhere. So those are just basically things that I usually do. It's not like I'm using balance standard until the game ends. I'm always using balance, but when situations push me towards the game, I'll have to change it to deep or change it to press high, depending on the situation of the game. And about aggression, I'm also going with balanced aggression. I mean, controlled aggression is nice. You can avoid getting cards, you can avoid getting injuries in the game as well. But control, you are generally preserving a lot of stamina, etc in the game. So if you go balance, you are keeping everything cool. But most of the time I will say, if going aggressive usually helps, but I don't say you go aggressive towards a smaller team. Like if you are managing a bigger team, you gotta keep it cool, just make it balanced, don't even make it controlled. I usually don't even like advise using controlled unless you are playing, the most worthless game of the league, like friendlies. You can go control. There's no need of going aggressive towards friendly matches, because friendly matches usually don't even care, but yeah, right now you can skip friendly, so that is just a dumbass advice, so go balanced and go aggressive. Control, just preserve it for useless games, etc stuff like that, to preserve the stamina of the players, preserve the sharpness of the players and their conditions. So I will prefer go balanced. But aggressive, you can go aggressive if the opponents are really aggressive, they are scoring, like you are two down. If you are 2-0 down and you're still doing balanced, you have to change it to aggressive, bro. You have to really push your players and work hard towards goal scoring. So player roles are always a good thing, and my captain is Donnarumma. This is just your preference, bro. You gotta choose someone you think is responsible for that captain band right there. So my player takers, Dembele, Jay Neves, corner kick taker for both sides. I don't want to talk about that. You already know that it doesn't matter. The captain is the only one which matters, and I think Donnarumma or Dembele are the worthy players for that band for me. But Donnarumma will keep it for now. So you will also realize I don't want to tell you to take players out for loans. You already know that. Formation creator, I'm not really going to talk about this for today. Maybe I'll do it next time. And yeah, it is. So I wanted to do a quick recap about this tactical effectiveness. You will realize, I've not done tactics for now, but blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, so you will realize possession is, I'm maxing out on possession because I usually go with passing playing style. So I was telling you, you can also do training towards counter attack, long balls and all of those. So you cannot generally just do one playing style. You can switch it to counter attack at some point of the game, but I'm usually just standard. Most of these are not done because I've been skipping trainings for now, and the head coach has been covering that up. I don't want to talk about that. Let's just head direct into training. So you can see, take me back home. You can see match preparation isn't that good. Is good. Is it that perfect? But do you realize you can just go direct to match preparation, take training from here? You can decide to go very intense or just do balance. Very intense. Very intense, you will get your players to the hospital. So let's just take a training right here. Possession, I'm not going to take the training. So you can see the possession bars are maxed out, not maxed out generally, but they're just that. Attacking centrally, we are pretty much weak. and that's why I'm usually going with game exploit in the flanks. Shooting and finishing, we are pretty much that weak, but we have Ramos, bro. Dembele, bro. Okay, so defending on wide areas, we are pretty much good in terms of that. So you will also see here it is, there's a long ball right here, there's a counter attack right here. So if I want to, like, say at some point I want to use counter attack in the game, so I'll pick counter attack, do some few trainings on counter attack or long ball. But sometimes I usually prefer long ball. Long balls are better than counter attacks for me, generous opinion, my own opinion, so I usually go long balls or or passing. So I think if you try out those tactics, bro, I don't know, bro, those are my own generous tactics, so try them out. Try them out, bro. Try them out, tell me, give me the feedback. If they are not working, just tell me, you know what, Sasuke, you lied, those tactics are not working. You guys just tell me that in the comment section. But if you find them pretty much effective, you find them you are trying, they are pretty much, not bad, you can also say that. But try them out. But for me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I think those tactics are pretty much effective compared to the previous tactics I was using. So I had to like play for 2 months. I had to play for 2 months just to generate those tactics, bro. See you on the next video.